What's going on, Assassins? It's Darkstrider, and we have some news and changes coming out for Assassin's Creed Shadows. So, sadly, for all of you who are hating on it, no, you are still playing as a black samurai and as a female ninja. However, one of the things that they did change was that originally you needed a dedicated online connection to play the game constantly. Right now, they updated that. They said that you only need an online connection for day one patches and stuff like that. And then you could just be offline when you play the game wherever and whenever you play it. It is developed on the updated Anvil engine, and it is coming out November 15th only on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S, which is kind of wild because you're actually alienating a bunch of players who still have the Xbox One or the PS4. Now, the sales of PS5 have been exceeding the Xbox, but still, there are still tons of people who are on the last gen tech. So I don't know who made the decision to do that. That's really kind of wild. Anyway, as far as the game goes, we all know that it's going to be set in feudal Japan during like around 1579. We're going to see legions of samurai. We're going to see shinobi, Portuguese merchants, Jesuit missionaries. The world will be as large as AC Origins, which means that it's not going to be too large. It's not going to be massive like Odyssey or multiple parts kind of like Valhalla. At least so far, we don't know if they're going to do DLC and put you on other islands or anything like that. But so far, that's as big as your free roam map is going to be. It's just going to be as big as Assassin's Creed Origins. So we know the two leads are Yasuki the Samurai and Neo the Shinobi. There's going to be dedicated missions for each, but you can switch freely between the two for other quests and free roam. So if there is a quest specifically that the Shinobi has to do, you could automatically switch. I think of it kind of like if any of you have played Spider-Man 2 and how seamlessly you could switch from Peter to Miles. I think it's going to be something like that, which is kind of cool because, I mean, you could just do that on the fly. And there were specific missions to Peter or to Miles, and you had to actually switch through. So I guess you could do it that way when there's an actual mission that is specifically made for them, but free roam, you do it the other way. So your samurai will have heavy weapons and combat gameplay with decapitation and finisher moves, which I'm actually excited for. I would love to see what that's going to look like. That's going to be wild. Now, for your ninja, she's going to be very agile, very stealthy playstyle, kind of close combat fighter. She'll have a grappling hook for traversing and assassination. So just imagine that, like she's swinging across a branch or something and then just assassinate somebody with the same, grappling hook. I think that'll be pretty cool. Another really cool thing is there are realistic destructible backgrounds. So as you're in the middle of a fight, you can, like break things, you can put people through things, which we've seen in games previously, but we can also slice things. So if you happen to accidentally slice like a box in half or something, a crate, or like a post, it'll slice, which is pretty cool. I really do like collapsible backgrounds because it really puts you into the immersion of like everything that's going on there, which is again pretty cool. Now, enemies can be knocked out instead of killed, and some people are saying that this will cause a pacifist playthrough. However, I don't know if that's going to be possible because you do have actual targets that you have to take out. You always have the assassination targets, so are you going to be able to just knock out the assassination targets, and how does that affect the story? Will there be an alternate ending if you do a pacifist playthrough? I don't know. And speaking of those targets, you could take them out in any order. You don't have to, like build up your strength in order to get to like the next level in order to fight the next boss or anything like that, which that's pretty cool. That actually makes me question what the skill tree is going to look like. They haven't released anything with the skill tree yet, however, so we'll see what happens. You can sneak around because there's full dynamic lighting system in place. So what you're going to have to do is, as you're sneaking around, look out for like lanterns and torches, avoid sunlight if you're trying to like stick to the shadows and whatnot. And I think that's pretty cool. You know, like we haven't had that in an Assassin's Creed game in, I don't even know. I don't think we've ever had something like that. You've always just snuck up on them either slowly from behind or leaping from above them, stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. There's also like 4 seasons that happen during the game, and it happens just gradually. It's not like, you play the game and you automatically hit a specific season. No, it's actually changing the same way you have a night and day system. So this is actually going to cause brand new obstacles and ways of playing as the seasons change. So like if there's a pond or a river and you can cross it and like hide under it or something if you're being attacked, during the summer, that's all cool and well. However, in the winter, you're going to see some freezing of like some of those elements. So like a pond will freeze fully, like a river will freeze kind of like little bits and pieces. There'll be, hazards now because you'll have ice chunks floating down. So just keep that in mind as you're playing. Same thing with grass. The grass will grow tall in like the spring. You could hide in the grass, and then it'll die in the fall. So where you had a hiding spot or a hiding spot that you remember when you're taking out a fortress, it will not be there when you're in the colder months, which is kind of cool. Also, this causes a couple of other issues because like if it's winter time, you will see icicles and you could hide behind the icicles and whatnot. But during the warmer months, the icicles can fall and actually harm you or expose you. Like you were hiding behind it, all of a sudden you have no icicles to hide behind. So that's kind of wild. And then, of course, we talked about in a previous video the customizable hideout. You could choose your layout of what you want. You could decorate it with any accessories that you find or purchase or whatever. You could use it to train your league. You could craft gear, all kinds of wild things like that. That's something that like I can't wait to see because you're not just stopped and forced to decorate a certain way or put things in a certain way. Like if you have a blacksmith, it doesn't have to be in this specific spot. You can move it any which way you want. And I'm wondering if you could even customize it further, like after you put down, let's say, your blacksmith and like you're in, if you could like switch them around and whatnot. I think that would be really cool if they could do that, One of the things that is going to be different in this game is that there are going to be no question marks on the map. You're going to have to find the points of interest yourself. So I don't know if we're ready to just run around and look and stuff like that. If you've played the game without, like Valhalla and Odyssey, if you've played it in exploration mode, I'm figuring that that's what it looks like, where there are the sync points, there are the fast travel points, but you have to kind of explore and find the points of interest yourself. You have to find the question marks. They're not just going to appear, So I think that that's pretty cool. And even in the situation of Odyssey, where you actually found those points of interest, even if you had the question marks there was still like little things that you did not find unless you explored, like a fountain or something like that. You see that all the time. So I don't know. I think it'll be pretty cool. So I'm posing the question to you. What do you guys think so far? Do you think that this is going to be a pretty wild kind of way of playing? Are you upset that the game is going to be only the size of Assassin's Creed Origins, which, let's face it, the main game, it was large, but it really wasn't so large like Odyssey or Valhalla. Are you ready for a smaller game, or do you want a more bloated game like we had with Valhalla? What is your perfect sort of ratio? Like, what do you want to see? How do you feel about being able to switch between the two on the fly? And for those of you, I've been seeing like some comments where, you know, they want to play as like the ninja. They don't want to play as a female ninja, or they don't want to play as a black samurai. But you're going to have to actually switch off on them in order to complete the missions, in order to complete the game. There's going to be a bunch of specifics. So, you know, I'm kind of interested in that myself. I actually put out a survey the other day, or yesterday, in fact, and, you know, it's still up on my community tab. And most people want to play as the shinobi. 58% of the people who had voted want to play as the shinobi, 26% as the samurai, and 16% aren't even interested in the game. And there are questions as to, you know, like, is this game going to be worth the purchase? Is it not going to be worth the purchase? You know, there's a lot of questions going on. But let me know in the comments, what do you think? Again, is this something that you're going to go for? Would you like to see a larger map, a smaller map? Is this just right? How many hours is enough hours to play in a game? What do you think of the concepts so far? What do you think of your abilities so far? You know, would you love to do, you know, like heavy combat and decapitations and finishers, or do you want to play more stealthy? What do you think of like the season changes? Do you think that that's going to dynamically change your gameplay? And would you want to see that in other games? I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please make sure you like and subscribe. It helps this channel out an awful lot. As always, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. And until next time, take care, be good, stay safe, take care of each other. I'll see you guys all in the next one.
Ya Yi!